Before colonists ever stepped ashore, Native American women lived in vibrant, spiritual communities. Marriage began with coming of age, a sacred transition into womanhood. Women were respected, powerful, often the heart of the tribe. Many marriages were arranged to strengthen kinship and alliances. In some tribes, men courted with songs, gifts, or symbolic gestures. Gifts were given to the bride's family, not to buy her, but to honor her worth. The elders would bless the union, often in a sacred ceremony. Some tribes had spiritual marriage ceremonies involving nature, drums, or fire. Each tribe had its own symbols, wampum, feathers, pottery, to seal the bond. In matrilineal tribes, women even chose the husbands or rejected them. Many women had the right to refuse marriage altogether. There was no priest or church, only nature and the spirits. Weddings were joyful community events full of food and rhythm. In some traditions, brides moved to live with the groom's family. But in matrilineal tribes, the man came to her clan instead. Marriage was less about romance and more about survival and harmony. Some cultures allowed polygamy, with rules of fairness and respect. And if it didn't work, she could leave. Divorce wasn't taboo. Children belonged to the clan, not just the parents. Marriage was rooted in respect, balance, and wisdom from the elders. Then came the settlers, and everything began to change. European colonists brought strict religious ceremonies and patriarchal rules. Marriage became a transfer of guardianship, from father to husband. Women lost their property rights, even names. In many cases, her consent wasn't even required. Female purity was guarded with shame, judgment, even death. Colonial weddings were modest, without music or joy. Love was rare. Obedience was expected. Her role was to bear children. Many did so until death. Many died young from childbirth or illness. She had no legal identity, no rights to land, vote, or defend herself. Marriage was seen as sacred, but mostly for the man's benefit. Only as widows did women gain a sliver of independence. Mixed-race marriages were often hidden or banned. Enslaved women had no legal right to marry, but they made their own sacred rituals. Marriage meant endless motherhood. Her name lost, her voice silenced. Some ran away. It was dangerous, but freedom called. The law was written by men, for men, but quietly, in kitchens and candles, the seeds of change were planted. The frontier brought new challenges and new opportunities. In the Wild West, love mattered more than lineage. Marriage on the frontier was raw, simple, sometimes rushed. Survival required teamwork, not dominance. Some women became mail-order brides, a gamble with fate. Some wives became teachers and healers, roles of respect. But the law still saw her as a shadow of her husband. White veils, flowers, and vows slowly became common. White symbolized purity, a tradition still alive today. By the late 1800s, women began demanding their voices back. Love and equality started to enter the conversation. In many cultures, old ways remained, resisting white norms. Some marriages defied law and prejudice. Wives became writers, thinkers, challengers of the status quo. By the 1890s, women started seeking divorces, daring to walk away. The idea of marrying for love, not status, began to bloom. Women wanted both marriage and education, not either or. Marriage didn't mean disappearing. It meant leading, too. Widows finally gained some respect and freedom. Each marriage carried a legacy of love, loss, and resilience. Mothers passed down not just traditions, but warnings and dreams. Expectations of obedience began to fade. Books taught women how to be wives until women rewrote the books. Romance bloomed in letters, fragile, hopeful, bold. Not all women had freedom, but many fought for it. By the end of the century, women even led the ceremonies. Photographs froze love in time, even if it wasn't always happy. Marriage looked different depending where you lived. For every joy, there was a struggle. For every vow, a sacrifice. This is how women in ancient America got married, not just with vows, but with strength.